Welcome back, traders, to another market preview. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm currently in Koh Tao, which is one of the many islands in Thailand. The internet here is not good, so I'm going to try to keep this one short so I don't have to upload a long video. Here's the monthly chart for the dollar index, and April has officially finished, so we can see that this up candle right here was the April monthly candle. We've rallied up and we've respected this monthly order block right here. So far in May we've dropped down, but this may not be the case. We'll go down into the weekly to get a little bit more detail. Now zooming into the weekly, it looks a little 50-50. We can see that last week's candle went down to rebalance this fair value gap and it closed below this fair value gap, and we reached into this order block as well. Now if we go on the upside, if price starts going above this fair value gap, then I'll be looking for these relative highs to get taken out and also reach for our weekly draw on liquidity. But there is a potential for this to go lower some more to take out the swing low down here and to reach more into this imbalance. Now if we start reaching to this imbalance and rejecting away, then I'll look back up to these relative highs again and these highs as well. But if this order block right here gets taken out, then I will be looking for lower targets. So far a little 50-50 on the weekly. Let's go into the daily. Now here on the daily, I get a better picture that aligns with my bullish bias for the dollar index. Price did come down, but it just wicked down to rebalance this large daily fair value gap. I'm still wanting price to go above the weekly fair value gap in order for me to look for price reaching above these relative highs, but we can see that it was a nice rejection. It could still reach down into this order block, but I really don't want this low to get taken out. I want this to go above the weekly fair value gap and reach for the highs. Here's S&P for the June contract on the monthly chart. We see that this down candle is the April monthly candle. We've closed in this fair value gap. We did wick down below it and then we closed within it. Now, the start of May, we are retracing up, but I am wanting to look for lower targets because our most recent order block are these three down candles right here, and there is a monthly fair value gap. So I really want this lower weekly draw on liquidity to be what we reach for. But let's go down to the weekly chart to get a little bit more detail. Here's the weekly chart for S&P. We can see that there's not any inefficiency up here on this leg down, so I'm only relying on this order block here to push price down. I think we actually need to go into the daily chart to get more detail. Okay, so here's the daily chart. We see price is pushing up and reaching into this daily order block here, which lines up pretty well with the weekly order block. So I really don't want to see the mean threshold get traded through right here. This around 52.25, I do not want to see price go above this. I want to see a rejection and I want to see it go below this low. Once this low has happened, I would take that as a market structure shift, and then I'll be looking for this swing low down here along with our lower targets here, the mean threshold of that order block, and below this low down here. Now taking a look at the Nasdaq, here's the monthly chart, and we see this down candle is the April candle. It hasn't rebalance any inefficiencies just yet. There's only a fair value gap down here, and we have the order block down here. So on the monthly, there's not going to be any discount until we go lower. Right now we are retracing up higher, but I do expect a lower run, but we've got to go into the weekly chart to get more detail. Here's the weekly chart for Nasdaq. Now there's a lot of lines here, so try to ignore everything. I do want you to pay attention to this up candle. I want to see this order block hold prices down. Then I'll be looking for price to take out this swing low down here, this order block, the mean threshold. I want to see that as a target, and also the swing low down here. But let's go into the daily chart and let's see if we get a little bit more granular. Okay, here's the daily chart for the Nasdaq, and like I said, I want the weekly order block here to hold price down. It's okay if we trade above this a little bit. I am looking at this large up candle here as the daily order block, and I really don't want to see price trading above the mean threshold here. So it can trade above the weekly order block line in red, but I do not want it to go above the mean threshold in the dotted purple. So it can trade somewhere up here, and ultimately I want to see it shift below this swing low. If I do see that happen, I'll be looking for some sort of retracement entry, and I'll be aiming for the low below here. the weekly mean threshold on that order block, and then below here for the year's low. So that's it for me this week. I hope you got something out of it. Sorry this is coming out later than normal. Hopefully the internet will allow me to upload this before market open. I'm really putting in the effort for you guys, so I appreciate a like, and if you can subscribe, that would greatly help me out. But until next time guys, good luck trading.